Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to do some basic editing of sermon content in Audacity. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Audacity right here, and I'm going to again import my audio, this time again from my Tascam DR05. So I'm going to go up here to File, Import, Audio, and this project is this one right here that I just recorded, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click Open, and again, I want to make a copy of the files before editing. Boom. This will take a little bit longer for if you've recorded an entire worship service or even just the sermon a little bit more. It's going to be a bigger file, and you'll have to do a little bit more scrolling to be able to see the whole thing. But this will give us a basic idea. If I just click right up here,
and before the sermon that I want,
it's going to play for me, and right here is the stuff before the sermon.
Okay, this is all the stuff that's happening before the sermon that I want to get rid of, and I'll leave a little bit of space here.
All right, I just clicked my space bar to stop that, but let's start there.
Again. Here. Now, here is where the sermon starts.
Okay, if that were an actual sermon, the sermon would actually be starting there. But that right there, that point is the beginning of the sermon. And I want my audio cast that I'm going to put on the website to just start right there without a lot of other stuff before it. So I'm going to take my cursor here, and I'm going to get it right at the beginning of that, right? And I'm going to click, and I'm going to drag. Now I have highlighted everything I want to get rid of, leaving just the sermon itself in there. So I'm going to go up here and go to Edit and then Cut. All right, now this will be a much longer thing again for your sermon, but let's get to the end.
The sermon is going to end.
All right, that's where it ends.
And now this is all the stuff after the sermon, and this could go on for quite a while too.
All right, and maybe you want to include, the prayer after the sermon or something else, but this is going to be an example of how to edit out the stuff you don't want. This is the stuff I don't want, so again, I take my cursor, and I will highlight that. I can even go past it if I want to, and I am going to cut. Right, so now all I have, if I click up here again to play.
Now, here is where the sermon starts. And depending on your preaching style or your pastor's preaching style, this might go on for 10, 12, 14, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes. I don't know. And then at some point, the sermon is going to end.
All right, so there I've got it. So I want to hit, make sure I've hit stop if it doesn't stop automatically. And then I want to save this project. We're going to come back later and talk about how to export it, maybe do some other things. But right now, I just want to save this project. So it's not going to save it as an audio file. It's just going to save the project so I can go back later and edit it some more. So I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to do a sample sermon. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and save it in my music file. That way I can open it up later and finish the project. And there we go. In the next video, we'll talk about how to get this stuff out of here and onto your church's website.